Well, the local stations in San Diego and Los Angeles have gone wall to wall for the past 2 days, and it's actually been a great resource to be able to watch that online. I find myself having been watching the NBC and CBS local stations, the streaming video on their websites today and yesterday, because it was giving me a better view than many times CNN or MSNBC or Fox were. I thought it was more local, and it was more personal in some ways, because you were seeing reporters who, in some cases, were worried about their own homes. So I think it's nice to be able to have more than just the national cable news networks as an option in stories like this. We did see all of a sudden last night all these deployments of network crews. You see all the 3 big evening news anchors heading to California after their Monday evening newscasts. And I think when you have that sort of force that moves onto a story, it automatically becomes more prominent. This is the 3rd time this year where Brian Williams, Charlie Gibson, and Katie Couric have all rushed to a scene. The first was Virginia Tech, and the second was the Minneapolis bridge collapse. I think we'll think of those 2 stories plus the wildfires as probably the big 3 stories of the year. And one way to know that the big 3 stories is because we see the anchors all rush off to the scene. And in some ways, as much as we talk about evening news anchors not being as important, they're still an indication of what matters the most, especially when they run off to a breaking news scene. For news video, streaming video is the preferable option and the main way to go. I saw that last week NBC Nightly News streamed almost 3 million video clips for that week. They also had 7 million viewers each night. So if you equate that out, they had roughly 600,000 additional viewers every day because of streaming video. So that may only be one tenth of their total audience. I guess it's probably less than 1 ratings point for NBC Nightly News. But it's still a start, I think, of something that's growing. And I think when you look at CNN.com and you look at the number of videos they're putting on there that are available at access around the clock, in some ways it's a much better user experience than the television platform is. I remember Dick Parsons from from Time Warner coming out a few months ago and saying he's more worried about CNN on TV than CNN.com online. And I think that shows in the long term where we're heading in terms of television. Of course, there's always going to be an audience for CNN or for NBC or ABC or CBS, but that audience may be dwindling, especially as people in my generation, in the 20s and also in the 30s, are getting more and more video, not just news, but video online.